Now, when we talk about her messaging, one of the things I'm really curious about is the emphasis on her historic achievements as a politician. She has been the first and the only a number of times in her career already to this point, obviously the first female vice president in the United States, poised to potentially become the first female president of the United States. And then, of course, with that comes first woman of color, vice president, potential first woman of color president, et cetera, et cetera. But to a certain degree, does that harm her politically? Because not everyone is a first or an only. So does it alienate her from voters if her supporters keep drumming this beat of she's the first, she's historic? And should she lean into another aspect of her identity as she continues to introduce herself or reintroduce herself to voters?
That's a good question. I don't actually hear a lot from the vice president talking about those important milestones. What I hear is other people talking about it. And, if you go back to President Obama and his historic run in 2008, he didn't really talk about the historical nature of his campaign. I just worked for Governor Wes Moore in Maryland, the only black governor in the country, the first black governor in Maryland. And we talked about the issues. It's obviously clear, he's black, and other people talked about the historical nature of his candidacy, and other people will talk about the historical nature of her candidacy. I think it's important that she not run away from that by any means, but look, she's talking about the issues, and she's talking about the ways we can bring this country together and solve some big problems that have existed for decades. And I think that's what all voters, regardless of what you look like, want to hear, is solutions and a vision for the future. And that's what I've heard from her for the last 3 days. That's what I expect to hear from her for the duration of the campaign.